Hey, what's going on everybody? My name is Kingsticks and welcome to my Season 7 Evelynn Jungle Commentary Guide. I'm basically just going to be going over all the basics and things you need to do to win as Evelynn in the jungle in Season 7. Starting it off, you're going to always want to start with your bot lane, get a good hardy leash. For my items, I always start with the talisman, and I usually go through fillable potion. If I really want to gank extremely hard, then I'll start with 3 red pots. But otherwise, I just start with fillable potion talisman. After I get my gank from my bot lane at my buff, I'll usually go to my raptors, try to clear them. I usually auto attack them, then let them chase me around while I Q them like you see here. It's important that you do this, otherwise they'll take a lot of damage. Because if you just fight them straight up, your Q isn't going to be hitting every raptor and they will do a lot of damage to you. I did take a fair amount of damage, but I did clear them. Here I'm just going to take my red buff, clearing it like normal. I'm actually pretty low on HP, so at this point, I shouldn't have really gone over here since I figured Hecarim was in the area. I'm low on HP, I don't have flash, and so I just die. If you don't get a really strong leash on Evelynn, it's best to just play safe. For example, I didn't get a smiteless leash, so I just should have gone home and healed up. So if you start with the refillable and you don't get a smiteless leash, after you are level 3 typically you will have to back. But if you do have enough HP, you can go gank, but in that case I should have just gone home and played it safe. You might be asking, well, why didn't you invade Hecarim? Invading isn't good anymore, typically at level 1 and 2, because the enemy jungler always gets a leash from their bot lane. So you can't really invade them at their buff anyways. Here I just saw Hecarim went to this part of his jungle and he was low on HP, so I figured he'd go to his golems, which he did. Just followed right up behind him, ignite, QE, chase him down with my W and keep auto-attacking him, free kill. I would have finished it, but I saw my bot lane was going in. I'm going to come in on Ezreal. He uses both his summoners. I go in on Janna now. She flashes away. Now I just let them be. There's no need to take turret damage. So now I'm going to walk away and act like I'm leaving. Right when I go invisible, I'm going to turn back around and I'm going to go back into it. I see my bot lane is low on HP, so I'm pretty sure the enemy lane is going to stay. Ezreal foolishly stayed. I end up killing him. And now I'm turning around for Janna. Notice how when I went on Ezreal, I waited till he could see me before I activated my speed up. This way, I get on him the fastest without him being able to run away since he doesn't know I'm there. So we do pick up 2 easy kills. If you remember at the beginning of this game, I had a death, which is really bad on Evelynn to die so early. And that can really bring down your team's morale and your morale. So it's important to stay positive, stay focused, and know what lanes to gank. In that case, the enemy bot lane was low on health and they were pushing, and I came up behind them, so it was easy. Here, Twisted Fate was pinging for a gank, so I'm just waiting on the outside. And now I'm just going to run up to her with my W, QE, and kill her. Notice how I wait to use my W until she can see me. Like, I don't just use it and run up to her. I wait till I'm as close as I can get before she can see me, and then I go in on her and kill her. Right now isn't a very good time to do Dragon because my bot lane's pushed in, and we don't know where Hecarim is, so doing Dragon isn't a very good option right now. So I'm just doing some of my jungle, moving around top, looking to see if I can get a kill. Lysandra just ended up backing, so there's not much I can do. So if there's not an objective to take or an easy kill to get as Evelynn, you're just going to farm. Just because there's not an easy lane to gank, that doesn't mean you can just sit in your jungle and farm. If you don't want to gank one of your lanes because none of them are gankable, go into the enemy's jungle, take his stuff, go kill the enemy jungler in his jungle depending on who he is. Also, look out for counter ganks. If you feel like they're going to dive your teammates, go and show up there and turn it around. I am going to come back bot lane because think about it, I know their flashes aren't up and my bot lane is ahead now, so it's an easy gank. Pop my ultimate on him, kill Janna, speed up to Ezreal, smite, ignite, Q, and we pick up 2 more kills. Now my bot lane is even farther ahead, so I don't even have to come back bot lane unless I want to. And I know if I come back bot lane, it'll be more free kills, and even if Hecarim comes, we'll kill him. We'll still be able to win the fight. Here I was pretty low on health, and I knew I should have backed off, but I really wanted the turret, so my greed, I ended up paying for my greed, and Hecarim does kill me, unfortunately. Since I was so low on health and we didn't know where Hecarim was, I should have just backed off, and we already got the turret pretty low on health, so I could have just come back again bot, we could have killed them again, and then just taken turret, so staying in that case was pretty dumb of me. Right now I don't really see anything to gank, plus my ult is down, so I'm just going to farm up my jungle, no need to stretch myself super thin and put myself far behind. Gonna go ahead and grab my red buff. One thing I see a lot of assassin junglers do like Evelynn and Shaco is sometimes they over gank when it's not an easy gank. So like if the enemy laner has full HP or if they're not pushed, they'll try to gank it. And by doing that, you're putting yourself farther behind. So right here, I come to gank Lysandra because this is a free kill. I'm not going to sit in my jungle and do my Krugs while she's just sitting there. That's a free kill, for example. You're always keeping your eye out for those. But there's other instances where you wouldn't want to gank, in which case I would just be in my jungle farming it up. While I am in my jungle farming it up, I'm not being absent-minded. I'm looking on the mini-map, seeing where the enemy team is. I'm looking to try to see their jungler. I'm trying to figure out the pattern and decide where I want to go next. When you're a jungle, try to look on the mini-map. Don't just sit there and farm. You need to be thinking about what you're going to do next, not just about, oh, I'm farming right now. Here, I just wait, get a 2-man ult, come in, get a double kill, get some damage on the Sandra. Here, I'm going to smite Ahri to slow her down so she can't chase too hard, do some damage on her, where I end up going to get hit. Since I was looking on the mini-map while I was farming, I knew I should have gone bot next, so I went bot. We ended up getting 4 kills off of it. Now we can just take the turret and secure a free dragon. On Evelynn, don't be too gun-ho about trying to solo dragon. You can't really solo dragon on Evelynn unless you go AD with some lifesteal, and I don't really like AD Evelynn. So just try to do it with your laners. She's not like Vi. She really does need her teammates to help her, otherwise she'll lose all of her HP. And the enemy jungler usually likes to come and kill you. After I get my jungle item and my normal boots, I usually like to get my next item, in which, in this case, I went for the Hextech belt. The reason why I did this is because they have a good mix of AP and AD, so I don't really want to itemize towards building armor or magic resist yet. So I just went for health and damage, the damage being the AP on the Hextech, plus it's going to give me a short boost, which is going to make it easier for me to land my ultimate. Here, I see Hecarim was up there killing Twisted Fate, so I know he's nearby. I'm just walking around in his jungle looking for him. I am going to get lucky here, and he's going to be in the bush, low health. I'm just going to QE. And then I still had my Ignite and Smite, so the moment he started to run, I was going to smite him, and if he did sped up or anything, I could have ignited him if I needed to. If you still have a lot of HP and the enemy team isn't collapsing on you, after you kill the enemy jungler, feel free to take his camps. You might as well. Not only will you be putting yourself ahead, but you'll also be putting him pretty far behind, and you'll also be even closer to the enemy lane since you're in their jungle. So while you're taking their camps, make sure you're looking on the minimap, looking on what you want to get next. Since I was taking Hecarim's top side of his jungle, I was going to come over here and take this side of his jungle. I knew if he was over here, I could just take it away from him since I have a higher level smite and I'm a lot more fed than he is. Also, if he wasn't over here, I was just going to take it anyway, so it's a win-win for me. Once you get ahead in your counter jungling, you really can't go wrong. Just, once again, keep a lookout on the mini-map. Make sure they're not collapsing in on you. So like right here, I'm really watching the mini-map, and I see just Janna, and I see they're collapsing on Ahri, so I don't really have to worry about it in this case. Right here, I should have just gone back and farmed my own jungle. They're forming up mid, and we don't really have minions to take turret, so we should just kind of back off since we don't have a whole lot of sieging power right now, especially since we don't have Alawi with us. So right here, I should have just backed off and went and did my own jungle. Dragon isn't up, so there's really not a whole lot we could do right now. I guess we could go take Rift Herald, but personally, I would just go back in my jungle, farm it. My teammates could go back, but if someone wanted to do Rift, I could help. But right here, we way overstayed. I'm being way too aggressive. I run in an ult. I take way too much damage, and like I said, we don't have a proper minions with us or Alawi, and it was just a bad idea overall on my part. If you don't have minions and there's no objectives to take, it's best to just go farm your own jungle. I do have some more gold to buy items, so I go ahead and pick up my mobility boots. After I have 2 full items, being my runic echoes and my hextech belt, I like to get my mobility boots typically, and I also like to build towards my Lichbane usually as well. If I feel like I need to be tankier, then I'll get a tank item. Since we did overstay, they're sieging our turret, so I just jump in with my hextech belt. I get a solid 3-man ult. I soak up a lot of damage. Now we're just closing in on them with our Twisted Fate. Just keep running it down the lane. As you can see, I am invisible even though she did just hit me, because I go invisible based off of when's the last time I attack something, not when I get attacked. So if you're running away from something and you're faster than it, just keep running away and you'll go invisible shortly. Here I just close it on Ahri, absolutely blow her up. You guys saw that damage, it's insane. I did pick up a Dark Soul earlier when I got my Hextech belt. Dark Soul is just such a cheap item, you really can't go wrong with it on Evelynn. Just try to get it after you have your Runic Echoes and you're building towards another item, but you really can't go wrong getting a Dark Soul on Evelynn after you have a full item. Dragon was up, so we just took it for free since enemies were pushed in and we have a lot of damage. We can take it very quickly. Now that Twitch is dead and he's respawning in, I'm just clearing out my jungle. I should give him red buff, but he doesn't really come for it, so I kind of just take it. I'm clearing out the rest of my jungle, waiting for my team getting ready to group. Twisted Fate is going back, and Alawi is dead. They're sieging our turret again, but they line themselves up, so I'm just waiting. I'm going to Hex Tech in, and then I'm going to use my ultimate. In this case, I actually ulted first, then use my Hex Tech. as you saw, I got a massive freaking shield. It's about 250 shield per each enemy you hit, and since I got a 5-man ult, we're looking at about 1,000 health shield. I would have chased with Twitch and Twisted Fate, but I was actually really low on health. Right now it looks like I have a lot because I have a red buff, but otherwise I would have helped him chase, but I was down to about 600 HP, and I didn't want one of them to turn on me and kill me. Didn't want to give him a free kill. I have full HP, we're waiting on our minions to push, so I'm just taking out their jungle. Notice how I haven't actually shown myself to the enemies, I'm just sitting over here waiting. So I know they're about to engage on my team, and I don't want them to know I'm here, so I'm just going to wait till I'm invisible. I'm lurking, I see Ezreal, he jumps in, I'm going to go in on with my Hextech QE. Blitzcrank does pull him, which was a little bit silly since I could have just one-shotted Ezreal there, but we do end up still getting the kill. Now that Ezreal's dead, I don't have to hide in the shadows anymore. I can just help my teammates take the turret by auto-attacking it. Whenever you have someone big and strong like Hecarim going in on your AD carry, it's a good time to use your Chilling Smite on them because it will slow them down and they can't actually get to your AD carry very well. That's what you saw there. I smited him and Blitzcrank knocked him up. We are so far ahead right now. I'm not going to try to force anything and throw the game, so I'm just going to clear out their jungle, play it safe, put them farther behind, waiting to get a pick. I do see Hecarim, so I'm going to QE him. Just keep auto-attacking, Hextech Belt, Smite Ignite. He uses his ultimate, which was foolish. He should have used it way earlier, but he underestimated my damage output. And we do pick up the kill, so now that Hecarim's dead, we can just continue pushing in lanes and taking turrets. Ideally on Evelynn, you don't want to do too much fighting while it's 5v5. We want to look for picks like that and fight while it's 5v4, because Evelynn isn't that strong of a champion. You really have to try to rely on your invisibility and element of surprise to kill the enemies. And since you do have a solid amount of burst, that your element of surprise does pay off, like what you saw there earlier with the Hecarim and Ezreal. You can burst people down fairly quickly. What you don't want to do is you don't want to be visible, let them know you're there, and just run at them, because you'll usually just die because you're not the tankiest champion and you don't have a lot of survivability. So you don't want to just fight straight up. You got to think a little bit when you go into fights. Try to hit as many people as you can with your ultimate. Try to make them think that you're not there, or don't let them know where you are, so that way they're afraid to start a fight, or if they do, they don't know where to be in the fight because they don't know where you're coming from. So like right there, Lissandra didn't know I was there, so I just ran up to her and smacked that hoe. QE, easy kill. Here Ahri does ult for me and Ignite. I'm not too chapped about it. I'm fine with dying like this because I'd rather me die than Twitch, to be honest, because Twitch is more of our carry. I'm just more of a harassing assassin, so I'm okay with dying there, but I should have backed off. I underestimated Ahri's damage output a little bit there. This game is wrapping up nicely. We've gotten all the dragons so far. I've made sure of that. We did dragons safely, doing it when the end team was either dead or pushed in. And we're starting fights so we know we can win. We're not forcing anything. You don't want to force stuff on Evelynn. That's a really quick way to lose the game. Because once the enemies have as much gold as you guys have, Evelynn falls off really hard. You typically want to end the game before the 30-minute mark. Like right here, you see it's not quite the 30 minutes yet, so I'm still very powerful since we have a pretty big gold lead on them. If you start dragging out games on Evelynn to the 30 and 40-minute mark especially the 40-minute mark and up, you're basically fucked because everybody will have a full build and you'll have fallen off super freaking hard. This is why you typically have to play a little bit more aggressive on Evelynn, taking enemy jungle camps and staying near enemy lanes, knowing when to gank and when not to. If you're not applying pressure on Evelynn, you're doing your job wrong. Also, if you're, like I said, if you're just like farming your own jungle the whole game, of course there's times to do it, but if you're just farming your jungle the whole game, then you're not playing the right champion. You should be playing Udyr or something. I hope you guys enjoyed this Evelynn commentary guide. I know I might have left some stuff out. I apologize. I just want to get you guys the gist of it, what to do, when to do it, and what to kind of look for. If you guys would like, I can always put out another Evelynn video or make an Evelynn Season 7 guide. Any comments or suggestions are much appreciated. I really do enjoy reading them, so keep them coming, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys out there on the Rift.